the Corsair Strafe RGB Brown. Is this the perfect keyboard? It has RGB, it has Cherry MX Brown, it looks pretty premium. What else can go wrong? I'm Rio, and this is Rio G on Keyboards. The Corsair Strafe has a very professional looking motif going on here. If you don't turn on the RGB lighting effects, you will not tell that this is a gaming keyboard because of its very simplistic, very sleeper looking style design, with its layout not committing any cardinal sins, with long backspace, long shift keys, long space bar. Of course, I really love those lines, those textures on that particular spacebar. Very smooth 40 typing experience that will be discussed later on in the video. On the back of the board, you have that beautiful Corsair logo with, on the top has a USB port, which only seems to work well with mice for some particular reason. Maybe my particular unit, the USB doesn't work well when I plugged in other USB, like say like a thumb drive. It doesn't read it that well. And of course you have your pads to keep the board planted, and your feet, which does not have rubber on them and are a little bit too low for my taste. Now we come to the cable, which is thick but not braided, and the USB tips are silver, which I really do not appreciate this. They're gonna lose points on this. In terms of the lighting effect, you get a almost infinite possibility. I mean, it's not just within the software itself, but there are people that are making up lighting profiles to go with your games. There are Overwatch style lighting effects where if you turn on the game, the lighting effect would go with how the game is being played out, which is freaking awesome. I'll have a link down below to show you some of the lighting effects that this particular board can do, and it's brilliant, guys. It's absolutely brilliant. And also, what I really like about the Strafe, or just the Corsair RGBs in general, is that you get a background light along with your lighting effects, which I haven't noticed other RGB boards doing the same thing. You either have the lighting effect or you have the background light. It's either or, but with the Corsairs it's and, which is really awesome, by the way. So just to wrap it up, the lighting effect here is brilliantly done. The lights are bright, and wow, it's just, there's a lot of tinkering going on here, and if you take the time and effort, you will be handsomely rewarded. The Corsair gaming software is now user friendly. Not too confident when I say that, but I guess it's a lot better than what it was before, with recent patches making it a lot easier to basically move around things. And of course, every single key is macroable, which means for the boys that plays MMOs and girls, this keyboard's got your back. For the lighting setting, once again, every single key can be tuned to a different light, and the recording software just loves to not record the colors here. When I turn off the recording software, my bad about it, it looks like the mic kind of blips. Anyways, back on point, when I turn off the recording software, the colors does actually change on screen, and since the software recording is on, the color does not change, and it seems like I'm not clicking anything, but it actually does. Oh well, too bad I can't really show you guys that. But there are many lighting effects, which of course will be discussed later on in the video. Then you can also switch to performance mode. You know, there's your gaming options where you can do disable Alt Tab, Alt F4, Shift Tab. I'll do just for Steam. When you do Shift Tab, Steam, turn on the Steam menus. You have settings here with your media players. I actually see some people coordinate their lighting effects to the music, and there's other videos where they coordinate the lighting effects to their games like Overwatch. Of course, I'll have the link down below to show you the video. I can't do it myself, not too skilled enough on that department. But what I can tell you is that you can import and export those profiles. So maybe something, just a nice simple Google search will get you up to that point. And as always, I believe the software can be improved. It can always be simpler, but as of right now, they're on track and they're heading towards the right direction here, which is very nice. In terms of the typing experience, these are the best. I'm gonna repeat myself. These are the best Cherry MX Browns I have ever experienced. The best, the absolute best that I have experienced so far. The keys are buttery smooth, the tactile you can feel, and the sound is fantastic. Of course, I'll have the link down below to the actual typing sound so you can hear it, and it is just bliss. And of course, Cherry MX Brown is the jack of all trade and the master of none. For the gaming experience, the Cherry MX Brown, once again, it is the jack of all trade, but sadly the master of none, which means that it's decent for gaming as far as mechanical keyboards go. It's not going to be as fast as Reds, it's not going to be as heavy as Blacks, so in terms of RTS, it's just adequate. For those of you that love to play MMO, this particular board is perfect, but that's going a little bit of a stretch because it doesn't have a bank of macro keys. So I guess it's not perfect, but it's close enough because every single key is macroable, which means you might just be able to find your perfect setup. However, now that I really think about it, I'm gonna go ahead and take that back and say that it's not perfect, it's maybe close, because I do realize that a lot of people will very much appreciate the fact that some particular boards thought ahead, thought about the MMO guys, and have a separate bank of macroable keys. Now in terms of FPS, it's decent. The keys are very comfortable to hold. You can hold it for long durations without your fingers getting tired, which is fantastic for FPS. Once again, for RTS it's just decent, and for MMOs, again, it is good, but it's not great. For the price of $139.99, you get some keys, a key puller, and a hard plastic wrist rest, which I do not appreciate that. But the board itself is very good, the software is good, the typing experience is awesome, the look of the board is very professional looking, but there are plastic bits everywhere. For $139.99, that's a tough bullet to bite, because maybe the K70 RGB might be better, just might be better.